While reviewing the Houston County Sheriff's Office narcotics report dated 12/11/2019, we noticed something that raises significant legal and public safety concerns. According to a report, a controlled methamphetamine purchase took place at 2972 Georgia Highway 247 connector, Byron, Georgia, a location that is in Peach County, not Houston County. That alone raises jurisdiction questions. But it doesn't stop there. The report further states that after the purchase, 4 bags of methamphetamines were obtained. Only 2 retained as evidence. 2 bags were intentionally returned back to the dealer. Let that sink in. Illegal narcotics, documented, weighed, and field tested, were knowingly placed back into circulation. So the questions are fair and necessary. Under what authority was Houston County operating in Peach County? Was there a task force or interagency agreement in place? Who authorized drugs to be returned after the buy? How does this comply with chain of custody standards? How is the public safety protected when drugs are put back on the streets? These are not accusations. These are documented facts pulled directly from the report. Transparency matters, especially when law enforcement's action crosses county lines and involves controlled substance. New media didn't create this paperwork. We're just reading it and asking questions that the public deserve the answers. If it was lawful, then the explanation should be simple. If it wasn't, the silence speaks volumes. More to come. New media. The only 2 sheriffs of Houston County in the last 75 years? Let's get into it. Picture here, you have the current sheriff, Matt Moulton, and the past sheriff, the one of 53 years, Cotan, whatever his name. I can't think of his name. Y'all know who I'm talking about, right? Moulton went from sergeant to lieutenant to sheriff in a matter of months based on the case and the conviction of Dexter Williams. Now, you guys been following me. You've seen all the documentations I provided, all the evidence I provided as to how they did this man. And now, even after years later, this is an article from this year where Moulton received a award, and he's still talking about Dexter Williams 4 years later. So you ought to leave that well enough alone, Mr. Moulton, because now we got to come for you because everything you've done is bullshit, right? I got a clip right here for you guys to see that the judge never said no parole. And we're going to dive, this next part of this series, we're going to dive into the sentencing as far as what George J.E. Bo Adams did to Dexter Williams when it came down to sentencing. And see, I'm talking about, we got receipts. Here's the clip of the actual sentencing. Now, if you guys hear no parole in this sentencing, let me know, because I ain't heard shit. But here we go.
And at the end of it all, for count one, I will sentence Mr. Williams to 20 years to serve. Count two, I will sentence him to 20 years. And that will be consecutive to count one, and I'm going to require that be served. 20 years is served. Count three, I already indicated that is merged with count one. So that'll be the sentence of the court as a result.
So y'all can read this for yourself, but I want y'all to focus on that Georgia Code subsection 42-9-45. If a sentence does not explicitly state no parole and the offense is non-violent, parole eligibility still applied by law. Now y'all just heard the video. Let me show you what. See, this is from 2023 when Moulton was still a lieutenant at the Houston County Sheriff's Office. Moulton was nominated for an award for his work in his investigation in the Houston County Drug Organization with Dexter Williams. Look at in the first sentence, they couldn't get the first. This is about him receiving an award. They couldn't get the first sentence out their mouth without bringing up Dexter Williams as a ringleader, which they never proved. His hard work and those involved led to arrest of Dexter, who would serve 40 years in prison without the possibility of parole. Why did the judge say that? And how do you know that? How you know he got no parole, Moulton, or should I say reporter? How does he know that? How do you know that? Because it's not on the record. It's not on the record that he got sentenced with no parole. All right. He goes on to say Dexter Williams would not be able to put poison on the streets of Houston County again for the rest of his life. And to me, that's why I do my job, and that's why these prosecutors do the job. They try to protect our citizens and try to keep these drugs off the streets. Oh, really, Moulton? Oh, really? I'm going to show y'all something. All right, this is the investigative report on Dexter Williams' case. As you can see, the case agent, he was a sergeant then. This is in probably 2019 when they allegedly started this investigation. As you can see, he was a sergeant. This is the investigation report that shows what I'm about to show you. Why he talking about Dexter would never be able to put wasn't on the street. Now, I had to squeeze myself down to a little person because I want y'all to be able to read this for yourself. Because this is straight from the investigative report. Now, I want to give you guys a privilege. In this investigative report, this is Matthew Moulton all by himself. He's the one typing this report. If you guys want a copy of this, I can send it to you. At the very top of the report, he is the investigating officer of this. He the one listening to the wiretaps. He's the only one doing this. He is. Because he can't have the whole department going across jurisdictional lines. He's the only one. And go back and read the report. This is the address that his source went to. 2972 Georgia Highway 247. It's in Peach County. Peach County. Doing this, right? And it even says in this report, everything you'll see him say, He's the one writing this report. Now, basically, in this report, they got a CI, allegedly got a CI who's going to buy some meth from Schaefer. Schaefer is one of the co-defendants on this case, right? So as you look on down through there, they do all this. They search the CI, make sure he ain't got no drugs on him before he go buy the drugs. Search his car, make sure he don't got no drugs, all this. So it goes down, okay, the source turned over 4 plastic bags containing crystal-like material to me. You see, he's using a possessive word, me. See, Moulton is the only one writing this report. This is Moulton's account. To me, right? The source was searched again and found to be free of any contraband. The vehicle utilized by the source was searched again and found to be free of any contraband. So this is after he done with the Zaxby's and picked up the dope from Schaefer, this white boy, right? This ain't got nothing to do with Dick, by the way. These boys don't even know Dick, all right? So a total package weight of the crystallite meth material was 58 grams, all right? 58 grams, a little bit over 2 ounces, right? They field tested that the crystallite material, they tested it thing. All right, here's a note at the bottom. This is the key thing. Schaefer accidentally gave the source 4 bags containing methamphetamine with a total weight of 116 grams. Schaefer called the source once he realized his mistake and asked the source if the source had all 4 ounces. Now look at this. Let's stop right there for a minute. Now he said the source turned over 4 clear bags of crystallite meth. All right. The total package of the weight crystallite meth, he said 58 grams. This what Moulton saying. And even now, he said, I packaged, labeled, and submitted the methamphetamine as evidence. 58 grams. But Schaefer called back and said, hey, man, I gave you too much. I gave you a 4-weight. Right? I gave you a 4-weight. The source asked Schaefer, did he have all 4 of the ounces? And advised Schaefer that the ounces the source would return 2 of them. I met with the source again and returned 2 bags of meth. The source was followed back to the predetermined meeting location to meet Schaefer. The source was observed. His source, whoever his source is, right? This is his CI. He take him to go buy some meth for Schaefer. He's supposed to buy 2 ounces. But Schaefer fuck around and give him 4 ounces. Schaefer called him back and said, hey, man, I gave you too much. Now, Moulton said, I packaged, labeled, and submitted the methamphetamine as evidence. All right, so chain of custody. See, this got to be law. Let me All right, before we get into this chain of custody, look at this date. This happened 12/11/2019. All right. Even in Moulton himself, he says Sergeant Moulton first identified Lemar talking with Dexter on February the 7th, 2020. So if you put 2 ounces of meth right down at the bottom, y'all read that thing, squeeze in, read it, pause, a screenshot, whatever this is his words, I, me, all that. If you put 2 ounces of meth back on the street after Schaefer gave your boy a 4-way, and he's supposed to only have 2 in the baby, you put some poison on the street way before day. So stop the cap. All right, chain of custody refers to the documented process that tracked the evidence from collection to courtroom, ensuring it remains untampered. So, he said, even in the last sentence in that paragraph, the last page, he said, I packaged, labeled, and submitted the methamphetamine as evidence, 58 grams. Okay, but then when the Schaefer calls back, you go meet the source and return 2 bags of meth. Essentially, you put 2 ounces of meth back on the street, Mr. Moulton, on the streets of Houston County, as a sworn police officer, and you documented it. Now, it clearly says, I met with the source again and returned 2 bags of meth. So where's the chain of custody on that? Where's the chain of custody on that? While you're talking about Dexter Williams would never put drugs back on the street, you've been putting them on there yourself. As a matter of fact, what are 40 keys? I'm going to dive deeper to these people down here. They are crooked. I'm telling you, you watch. You watch. We on the ass at New Media. Be great today. Peace.